Number 7, how not to worry. Stop worrying. Stop worrying. Stop worrying about the giants in your life. Stop worrying. Write down the giants in our lives. Giants. We have giants in our lives that tell us about impossibilities. Giants. You understand? Giants. What are these giants? This giant could be a bank loan. You have a loan with the bank, and that's your giant. You have a loan with the bank, that could be a giant in your life. A teacher committed suicide. I heard about it months ago. Before he killed himself, he wrote some story that when we meet in the streets, we all act happy. Meanwhile, a lot of us have problems. He killed himself because of debts. He owed money to a lot of people. A nice man, a teacher, and he died. A giant before you. Could be a threat about your family breaking apart. That's a giant in your life. We all have giants in our lives. It could be a disease in your body, a sickness in your body. That's a giant before you. Every time it comes to your mind, you are worried by it. A giant. We have giants in our lives. Or maybe your father is sick, is ill for months. That's a giant before you. What can you do to make things right? You understand? All those are giants. But I want to show you how to defeat these giants. There is a way to defeat a giant. There is a way to defeat a giant. Learn to respond to giants. Write it down. Learn to respond to giants. A giant before you, a disease, an infirmity, or a fight between families, or employment, no job, no money, you're broke, you're in poverty. That's a giant. Or you're in another country and you are stranded in that country. That's a giant. How do you deal with these wicked giants before you? Write it down. Learn to respond to giants. Because you cannot make a step forward without responding to this giant. What did I say? You cannot make a step forward without responding to this giant. Are you getting me? Respond to giants. Respond to giants. How do you respond to a giant? You talk to that giant before you. If it's a disease in your body, you will speak to that disease. Now, it takes mad people to talk to objects that are not visible. Is that correct? Right? But you see, in psychology, every time we respond to a situation with words, we take power and authority to step forward to change it. If we keep quiet, we will not have the authority. We will not gain the mastery over this giant. Imagine you are afraid that you will go to prison when the judge gives a decree, you go to prison, you are afraid. And every time you're in fear, the only way that fear will walk out, because fear is your giant, the only way that fear will leave you is by you responding to fear. You say to fear, fear, go out of my body. All of a sudden, you are timid because you say words that are so strong. I cannot fear. The moment you say that, you start getting yourself together. See that? Because you're responding to a giant.